do you have there? It's a Christmas gift.
Dude, is that a MacBook Air M1?
It was in-store pickup? Wait. How'd you get that? They're like sold out everywhere. Well, you can't get those unless it's like a 16 gig. Is that a 16 gig? Yeah, it's a 16 gig. Why? 16 gig? Have you watched any YouTube reviews? Like an 8 gig versus 16 gig? Have you watched any of those yet? Yeah, I watched them. No, I didn't. Really? Wait. You can't even get a 16 gig right now. No. Is that a 1 or 2 terabyte? Are you kidding me? It's the 1 terabyte. It's the only one I could do in-store pickup. The rest of them were out of stock. I needed it today. It's 16 gig, 1 terabyte. Wait. How much did you spend? Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Yeah, I got a discount. Just stop. Is it fast? Is it really fast? Oh, brother, it's fast. It's fast. You're an idiot. What? I'm an idiot? Nice fake beard, dude. Just for men, right? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Like everyone else says, please subscribe and like. If you want to see some more comic relief, that's pretty bad. Other than that, let's get started just talking about the MacBook M1 16 gig, 1 terabyte, which I chose on my venture with MacBook Air. Now, a little backstory, I had a MacBook Air several years ago. I love the form factor of the 13-inch, but it was just, after a while, a little bit too slow. Couldn't do any of the other tasks I wanted to do in Final Cut Pro without kind of getting hung up with a beach ball, that kind of stuff. So I got rid of it, went on to iPads and everything else, and really thought the iPad Pro, the 12-inch, was going to be my travel, switching from LumaFusion. But I never really got into it, kind of thing. I tried it for a while, but it never kind of panned out for me. I'm more of an old school person, like to sit down in front of a desk, work on the video, but that's just me. So I kind of went back to the 27-inch iMac and mainly use that. And with COVID hitting, my 2017-inch MacBook Pro that I had a couple years ago went over to my daughter for a Zoom, for her school, and for a dance and everything else. So that kind of got taken away from me, which was kind of a blessing in disguise and allowed me to now maybe get a new MacBook. But the question was, why did I go with the 16 gig versus the 8 gig? And what did I get the terabyte? Well, easy. The first one's easy. I always find myself running out of storage space. So storage is key. What I try to do is not have too many dongles attached when I do editing my video. It becomes, you put a dongle on the side here and it's hanging off the edge, and you move around too much, either it can come out, get unplugged, ejected, or it's just not fun to have these things hanging off the side of your computer. If you have more storage on your SSD, you can have all your videos in the background, which are dumped onto Final Cut Pro, and you can work just from the computer. And then once you're done your video, you can either put those videos in a hard drive somewhere else, you can delete them, whatever you want to do, but I can put everything on here at once and not worry about it. You're never going to be like unhappy of having more SSD space. So that's one thing area I know I was going to upgrade. So I went from 7 core to the 8 core. Going from the 7 core to the 8 core automatically gave you 512 SSD. From there, I only had to jump one more to the 1 terabyte. Now, The one I was going back and forth on was the 8 or 16 gigabyte. I've always been told, buy more RAM, buy more RAM. You can't ever add more RAM later on these things. So if you can afford it, get it now. My goal, I was trying to buy pretty much right after these were released, and I went on vacation to Disney, and I had like 3 days in between to make the purchase and get the computer to go take with me to Disney. So the one that was coming up that was in stock over at the store near where I live was the 16 gig 1 terabyte. So it said in-store pickup, and to say, all right, if it doesn't work out, I can return this thing, right? Everyone talk about returns in January. So I went for it, and then started watching YouTube videos on people asking the question, do I need the 8 gig or 16 gig? Now, if you've seen them yourself, I'm sure you probably watched some of these. Everyone is pretty much saying you don't need the 16 gig. Unless you are pushing this thing to the max with 8K or 6K video, you're not going to really be crushing the RAM on this thing. The way this computer is programmed and working with slack memory, it's compensating for not having enough RAM by using the SSD, because it's so fast it can go back and forth. Some folks do say that having 16 gig of RAM is better for the longevity of the SSD, but do we really know that? I don't know. Maybe it's better down the road when more and more programs start using this thing, using the M1 chip to their full advantage. May come into play, I don't know. So the question that I was asking myself was, do I return this guy and get almost about 200 bucks back and just lower the RAM? I'm probably not gonna do that, just because it's a pain to do the whole return process, buy another one, all that kind of stuff. And will I want the 16 gig memory down the road? So I'm pretty much gonna stick with what I got. The unit I have here is working, as knock on wood, flawlessly right now. So I'm happy with the 16 gig 1 terabyte. Now, if I had to do it all over again, I knew everything I knew now, I would get the 8 gig with the 1 terabyte just for me. But that's my train of thought. Now, using this thing, it's just, there's something to it. There's something about the 13-inch size that you take in your backpack, that you pull it out. It's so small and light. You're working from an airplane, you're working from school, you're working in a car. I use this at work sometimes next to my computer. It does everything, and it's so fast. It's just, everything is instantaneous. When you click on that, it just runs and runs. When I'm in Final Cut Pro and I'm working on a video and I want to stabilize a clip of the footage, I normally hesitate. I'm like, okay, I'll stabilize it, but it takes a while for it to render. It takes a while for it to work, and you have to go back later on and see what it looks like after it renders. On here, I can click to stabilize. I can wait maybe 25, 30 seconds. I can watch the dial spin as it renders it, and then boom. I can either adjust it from that point and move on. I can actually do the work almost live without having to stabilize it, keep making the video, come back later on after it's done all the rendering and check out the video and then fix what I need to fix. There's an intangible with this that it's hard to explain about how fast and how efficient it works. I'm excited for Apple. I'm excited for my stock in Apple. Them breaking into this chip sector is going to have so much potential for the Mac. We're talking about the MacBook Air, the lowest end, being almost as fast or even faster than their higher end computers right now. Just imagine what their high-end top models are going to be, how fast those are going to be cranking out with the new M1, M2, whatever you want to call it down the road. It's pretty exciting to see the kind of stuff they're coming out with. And this is buying a piece of history, what I think, of their first endeavor into the chip sector. That's my Apple fanboy bandwagon talk. So if you're debating on what machine to buy, budget does come into play all the time with everything, right? Everyone's saying the $999 one, the $1,000 option, works great. And I haven't seen anyone complain about it. So if the funds are an issue, absolutely. Go with that. Buy yourself an external SSD or a hard drive to use to store your stuff, because you don't have much on the box itself. I don't think you're going to be as happy as can be, because I mean, most folks don't do too much with these computers, and no top professional is going to buy a MacBook Air to run their business, do everything they want to. Almost now you could. I could buy just this, buy an external monitor and hook this bad boy up to it and let it be my base home computer and my on-the-go computer. That's how fast it is. So let me know what you think. If you've already bought one of these, how you like it so far. This was my Christmas gift. I could say this has probably been one of the more exciting purchases I've done in a while. Let me know what you think. If you like the intro, let me know. If you thought it was stupid, let me know. My first stab at it. All in good fun. You guys stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next one.